Because no one owns a family, club, church, cooperative, trust, charity, or state, there are no markets to move control of these organizations to the people who can make the most profit from them. Consequently, the primary purpose of these organizations is not profits. Instead of being an instrument for wealth, most members regard these organizations as primarily serving other purposes. If these organizations were owned, pressure from the market for organizations would divert their purpose to profitability. Consequently, no one should own an organization whose purpose is not profit, which is what we observe in fact. The owner of property enjoys discretionary power over it, including the right to transform it. When an organization is owned, the owner usually has the power to restructure its offices and roles and change the people who fill them. The owner's legal power over an organization often suffices to control it. When an organization is unowned, however, no one may control its offices and roles. The alternative to ownership is often governance. A system of governance involves politics and collective control. To illustrate the difference, the owner of a small corporation controls it and does with it as he wishes, whereas the members of a club, church, cooperative, or democratic state make collective decisions and engage in politics. Ownership is usually best for pursuing wealth, and governance is usually best for pursuing more diffuse goals. We have explained that different organizations have different functions, and the primary function of corporations is to create wealth by pursuing profits. The market for corporations to help keep management focused on this task. Markets for corporations, however, are often thin, by which we mean there are few buyers or sellers. To illustrate the economic recession at the turn of the 21st century and the destruction of the World Trade Center by terrorists caused a significant decline in the number of air travelers. In this environment, many but not all airlines are unprofitable. The situation creates pressure for the owners of unprofitable airlines to sell them. The potential buyers are few in number because airlines are very expensive to buy and running them requires expert knowledge. The market for airlines is thin in the sense of having few buyers and sellers. The problem of thin markets is aggravated by antitrust authorities who may prevent one airline from merging with another. In general, blocking mergers to thicken product markets thins the market for corporations. As a market thins, competitive pressures diminish. Specifically, thin markets for corporations allow their members to pursue goals other than maximizing the company's profits. Understanding this fact requires appreciation of the history of corporate law. Corporations are varied forms of organization. For example, the British government financed itself in the past partly by selling exclusive licenses to large corporations to develop trade in the colonies. As a specific example, the Hudson's Bay Company was formed in 1670 and was soon thereafter given control over fur trading and other businesses in the area amounting to one-third of present-day Canada. Two important legal innovations distinguish these historic corporations from modern corporations. First, like the Hudson Bay Company, the charters of the historic companies restricted them by activity and geography. In contrast, modern corporations can enter almost any form of business in any place. To illustrate, a corporation chartered in Indiana can enter almost any kind of business in any other U.S. state. Corporations are restricted from entering a few lines of business in the United States that are reserved for partnerships, notably law and accounting, or require separate incorporation, notably commercial banks. Removing restrictions on activities and geography vastly increases competition among corporations.